so I need some honest advice here. My wife and I married 10 years, kids, great relationship, and I would regard her as my best friend up to about 3 days ago. I had massive amount of data being used on my phone turned out to be an app. No big deal. However, when I pulled up the usage data, it automatically pulls up phone calls first. I see a 45-minute phone call at 2 a.m. in the morning to a number I don't know, so I look up the number and how many calls, how long, etc. Turns out there is 37 calls to this number, 25 of them after I have been asleep in bed. Many of them at 1, 2, 3, even 4 in the morning. I confronted her. She has a new great job with a very intelligent boss she envies and made this clear to me. I've always trusted her. All the calls were to her boss. He called only 3 or 4 times. She said everything they talked about was work-related, insisted on it over and over again. Despite this, I know some of the nights we had been having a few toddies weekends. She also lied to me 2 months ago when she said she went running by herself at 5:30 a.m. She did, but he ended up showing up and said he couldn't run that early. Not a big deal because she told me she was running with him, but she insisted when she got back that he never even showed up. So why lie about it? Really weird. I called her on it and she said she loves me and only has feelings for me, and she wouldn't destroy her career and his career by cheating. More emphasis on what she would lose than she loves me. He has a super fancy pants sport car and is married with kids himself. When he was on a business trip, my wife said he needed to text her updates of the conference. He ends up sending her a picture of a $750K car he is thinking about buying. She shows me, but still pretty weird that he is texting this to his employee. Right? Aside from that, she removed texting from the iPad and her computer at home. She also changed the passwords on this account. I made her show me the messages to him. She had erased them all. So now what? Was she having a physical affair too? She says absolutely not. It was all business related. I will say she is addicted to education and learning, and it would not be surprising to hear this, but the fact he was receptive to her calls in the middle of the night is messed up. TLDR, I am an emotional roller coaster. My wife cheated by calling her boss late at night after I was asleep. She erased all messages to him. How do I know if she is telling the truth and it wasn't a physical affair as well? Update 1. 4 days after I found out, we have been talking over the past few days and arguing and whatnot. She insists she loves me, has only loved me, and will always only love me, that nothing physical ever happened, that the new job got her worked up. Someone could have died if she put the wrong thing in, and that she called him late one night because she needed to make sure what she did was right. That turned into several calls late at night. She admits to calling, but that she never emotionally cheated because it really was work-related. She has zero feelings for him. And their relationship has been and still is 100% professional only. Fair enough. I am reasonable. This seems reasonable. She willingly gave me her iPhone and said, "Install spyware on it." I told her I will be recovering all of the, and she said that is fine. So maybe I am being over the top, but why erase them if it wasn't incriminating? She said she didn't think I would like it if I knew she was texting him. I said 1. Do you think I like finding out you erased all of the messages more? 2. If it was all professional, why would I care? She has apologized about 1 million times, promises it will never happen again, but I cannot get over the erasing of the messages. It will be chilling to see if she erased these when I called her at work to ask her about the number. If she erased them right after I called, the messages will more than likely be incriminating. TLDR. Her story is somewhat legit. However, it makes no sense to erase all of the messages on her phone if there was nothing to hide from me. Thanks to all for the advice so far. I love her, don't wanna lose her, and don't want any of this to be happening. Thanks for your support and advice. We'll update. Update 2. Sorry I haven't updated in a while. This sucks. So the texting continued, the call stopped. For the past 7 months, without going into detail as this will go on forever, she continued to receive messages from him. She received several messages from him asking if he could buy her lingerie and telling her what a great body she had. She replied to him. She said she didn't need to test me. He replied he would love to test you all night long. I saved everything. When all this was going on, we had a great relationship, declarations of love, kisses every morning, sex. Then a few weeks ago, they went to a conference together. When I called, she hung up on me, then immediately called him from her room to his room so it wouldn't get on the phone records. Detail: he called her from a cell phone that didn't belong to him so I couldn't trace it. He shows up. Also, I have the entire audio recording. I was listening when she got home. She freaking completely froze. Couldn't believe what was going on and what I knew. The situation had gotten pretty nasty, no violence, just yelling and screaming. I left. She spent a couple days with the kids at her parents' house. She came back, wanted to figure things out, agreed to go to counseling. I'm in the shit. I don't know what to do. I love her. I believe she's my soulmate. She said they're both just fucked up and that here they are doing everything together and the adrenaline and the rush and yada yada yada. But he's such a fucking predator. They still work together, albeit much less often. What the hell am I supposed to do? He said he told his wife, but I've seen the messages, and it looks like he didn't tell her everything, like the part where they have sex, which is pretty clear on the audio. TLDR. I have messages from the last 7 months about my wife's emotional infidelity and an audio recording of the physical affair. She told me and her parents that it was a failure and only happened once. I can ruin everyone's lives, ruin our marriages, and their careers. I can try to work this out with my wife. She says she loves me, but is afraid I'll give the audio tape to the lawyer/HR/his wife. What the hell am I supposed to do?